Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Battlestar Galactica on Tabletop Simulator. We're doing a all-support run, and it was pretty hectic. We already started with a Cylon. Callie immediately executed Gaius Baltar, who now is replaced with Chief Galen Tyrol, who now is a Admiral CAG President. But the humans managed to counter Callie and throw her in the brig, and then proceed to airlock her. But doing all that took time, and that gave the Cylon fleet a lot of time to build up, and they just barely had their first jump and only got one distance from it. Resource-wise, their morale is dropped a little bit, but other than that, they're kind of just throwing their entire hands at the problem over and over again, hoping to just survive at this point. So it's Chief's turn. He's going to draw his starting hand. And 2 engineering. Okay. So what he's going to do right off the bat is he's going to go ahead and he's just going to stay in place. He's going to play an engineer card and go ahead and repair the hangar deck and repair the last of the Mark 7s. And then he gets another action, and he's going to use that to play executive orders on Chief, or not Chief, but on Doc. And Doc is going to go ahead and use both actions to activate command. So first thing he's going to do is he's going to use the first command to go ahead and deploy a Mark 7 Viper here and return that ship back to where it was. And then for the second activation, he's going to go ahead and return to the civvy ship. Well, actually, he's going to deploy another Mark 7 and return that civvy ship. Alright, so we've got some ships out. Alright, executive order has been resolved. And we go straight into crisis. In the ring. If we pass, this is one of the few that actually gives you a benefit of increased resources if you pass it. Otherwise, it's some bad stuff. That symbol means if you play any sort of skill check into this, it will activate. It only activates once, but it's not the best. So minus morale, and the current player sent to sickbay, and if we end up getting any skill check cards, that will also force the player to pick. Oh, sorry. The fail is the current player sent to sickbay. The skill check fail, the skill trigger, I guess you could call it, is he has to pick a different person to send to sickbay. So this could potentially throw both of them in sickbay, which is not great. So the colors are yellow, green, and purple, and those are things we don't have much of right now. Yeah, they literally it's 12. They're not going to do it. They're not going to be able to get it off, especially with the Cylon. The Cylon can only play one card. Don't worry about Callie's negative traits. Don't matter anymore because she's a Cylon. She's going to go ahead and put in a card. And then Chief is going to pass. So this is going to be an obvious fail. Got -3, +1, +5. That's not terrible, but yeah, there's no way they were going to pass it. This is a skill check, so it's going to trigger this. So a current player has to choose another player to send to sickbay. So he has to pick Doc, because he's the only other human player. And then each human player draws 1 treachery card. If the current player is a human, he also draws a mutiny card. So here is a treachery, here is a treachery, and then he has to draw a mutiny card, which is the make the deal one. Alright, this is also a fail, so it's -1 morale, so it brings it down to 7. And his current player is sent to sickbay as well, so both of them just got sent to sickbay. This gets all resolved. Heavy Raiders activate. We'll go ahead and roll a die for that. 4. Pursuit track. CAG has to add in 2 civvy ships. Shuffle this first. It's going to do that. We do get a jump prep. And that's pretty much the only silver lining in that. Right now, the humans have 1 distance. This is pretty brutal. Unfortunately, it's going to be Doc's turn, and Doc is in sickbay. And that means he only gets to draw a card. He's just going to draw a Tactics, I guess. And then he's going to go ahead and move to Command and activate 2 Unmanned Vipers and go ahead and return both these back to the escort those ships away. Try to get that kind of under control. Crisis. CAG chooses. All Vipers in space areas are returned to reserves. All characters who were piloting Vipers are placed in the hangar. Increase the pursuit track by 1. Or activate all that shit. So no matter what, everything's going to deploy. Like hands down, everything is going to deploy. So we'll start with the Battlestar fires. You do go from left to right. Oh wait, that's so bad. That's so bad. So what's going to end up happening if I pick the OR option is it's going to add a Battlestar to the Silent Fleet board, which is going to trigger the auto track, send in everything over, then the Raiders will activate, which means essentially both the Assault Raptor and the Viper are going to get shot about a total of 3 times. The Heavy Raider that's right here is going to board. So yeah, there's no options here. All Vipers in the space areas have to be returned to reserves. He's going to pick, so CAC's going to pick the first option. All characters, there's no characters piloting, and then increase the pursuit track. So the pursuit track is going to be pushed. These are going to be sent over. This is going to be sent over. These will be sent over. These will be sent over. Then the card resolves, and the Battlestar is going to deploy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, also after all of that, both Battlestars would have deployed 3 Raiders, which would have added another 6 to the field. This is bad. Really, really bad. All the CAG chooses are really bad. And speaking of really bad, it's Callie's turn. So Callie's going to go ahead and draw a Treachery. And what else does she want to draw? You know what? She's going to go to Treachery still. And right now, she is feeling great. There's right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards here. So she's going to go ahead and activate Battlestar Bridge. And she's going to roll a die if the result is less than the number of Raiders. So as long as it's not an 8, it's going to do damage. All right. They're gonna pick the Pegasus. They're just gonna have it soak damage. So we'll shuffle this. Pick 2. She'll pick main batteries. Alright, and then the other option, she's actually going to go ahead and roll a die and see if she can decrease the jump track or increase the pursuit track. So she's just going to keep the presser going as far as the fleet is concerned. 1. Decrease the jump track by 1. Boop. Alright, well, that happened. No crisis because it's a silent turn. Goes to Chief. Chief only gets 1 card. He's going to go ahead and get a leadership. That is not what he wanted. And then he's going to do what he can to help out, I guess. Our biggest issue is the Heavy Raider. There's just not much we can do about it, unfortunately. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and move to... I think he's just going to go to Command. Alright, he'll activate 2 Unmanned Vipers or a Raptor. He's going to go ahead and shoot the Raider first. Misses, and then shoot again. Hits. Alright, I was hoping not to miss, but that happened. Alright. Crisis. Current player chooses. We can either potentially lose fuel or try to do a skill check. He's like, we're going to pick the OR option. On a 5 or less, -1 fuel. We're at 8 fuel, so we're kind of okay on that front. Alright, so we do lose a fuel. Raiders do activate. These ones will go here. These ones will go here. these ones will go here. And we do get a jump prep. Okay, goes to Doc. He gets his full set of cards. So 1 politics, 2 tactics, and 2 engineering. Alright, at this point, he's going to go ahead and activate command again and keep trying to shoot down raiders. 1, 2. Alright, so this Assault Raptor is kind of the savior of all time right now. The thing that really sucks about Doc is he doesn't get any leadership, so he doesn't get Exos, and Exos is what they really need right now. Resistance passes no effect, fails, and fails is food and fuel essentially. Alright. And unfortunately this also means we're going to get a Centurion soon, and once that happens it's going to be a thing. Alright. Is there anything we can play around with? I could do a Reckless and try to go from there, but that's not really going to help. Nope, it won't. Alright, well, it goes to Callie first. Callie, of course, is going to really mess with them and use exploit weakness. Chief is going to put in... Oh, is that something you can play? Technically, yes, but it's not really enough. He's going to put in this. So, Iron Will, all hands on deck, and then that yellow card goes Investigative Committee. Alright, and we're going to do this in here. Kind of throwing everything we got at it and see if we got enough. Okay, let's begin. All hands on deck, so we'll deal with that in a second. Iron Will, we'll deal with that in a second. Okay. I'm kind of doing all this at once now because there's kind of a lot of variety to deal with. Okay. So, first things first, all hands on deck is going to make everything that's a 0-1 now. So with that, Dratus Contact is going to add 2 raiders to the front, like so. And that's a -1, but that's going to be canceled out by this. We do have a 1 here as well, that's going to be canceled out by Iron Will. We do have Force the Hand, Consolidate Power, and all this, which is going to be canceled out by this Exploit Weakness. Force the Hand is going to force the human player to play a skill card face up into this track. If he doesn't, he draws a mutiny. And that leaves 5. Alright, that leaves a total of 8. Was it 6, 8 in total? Which he's going to go ahead. He's forced to play a card if you want, unless he wants a mutiny card. So what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and play Red Tape. Alright, so that's going to be +1. Anything that's a 5 or a 6 gets removed before totaling strength. So I can resolve these cards in any order, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and do Red Tape first, get rid of Exploit Weakness. So with all of that, that means I now have 1, 2, that's 5 there, 6, 8, 11, 13, 14. That is a pass. So we don't even have to worry about Iron Will. So that's a pass, which is the good news. Bad news is we're getting some Centurion love, and that alone might that Centurion alone is going to probably be enough to kill this this game. So since this Heavy Raider is going to board, adds a Centurion to the list. This one's going to move down. We do get a jump prep, and that is all that happens. And it goes to Callie's turn, and that's even worse. Callie's going to go ahead and draw some politics. Okay. Then she's going to go ahead and activate all silent ships of one type. So what that's going to do, she's going to pick Heavy Raiders and move the Centurion up one. This Heavy Raider is going to board and add another Centurion in. I believe that's how it works. So with that, there are now 2 Centurions on the board and a lot of trouble on the way. Goes to Chief's turn. They have to take this thing out. They have no other options. The problem is it's practically luck at this point. So Chief is going to go to the armory and start firing at the Centurions. On a 7 or 8, it will destroy a Centurion. So 1 in 4 chance. Not exactly favorable. Alright, we destroyed one. So we destroy the one in the front. Leaving one behind. And then we draw... Oh, we need to draw cards for Chief. 1 politics. 2 leadership. 2 engineering. Okay. Now we do crisis. President chooses. Draw 1 civilian ship and destroy it. Then each player discards 1 skill card and draws 1 treachery. Or draw 2 civilian ships and destroy them. I'm okay with discarding cards and drawing treachery. So we'll pick the first option. We need to draw a civvy ship and destroy it. We lose 2 population. Well, at least we got one of the big ships out of the way. Each player discards 1 skill card and draws 1 treachery. So it's going to be Chief and Duck. I mean, they already had treacheries that they can discard, so it wasn't a big deal. Raiders do activate, so these go here. These go here. These move in. And we do get a jump prep. Okay, goes to Doc's turn. Doc is going to go ahead and draw his politics and his tactics. And some engineering. That's a really good card. Alright. They do need to deal with the armory. So he's going to go ahead and keep helping out with that. Because all it takes is 1 Centurion at the end of the track, and that's end game. So he's going to go ahead and move up and take a shot. Alright, that is a miss, unfortunately, and we get a crisis. Admiral chooses, discard 1 nuke. If you do not have a nuke, you can't choose this option, or you can do -1 food and draw a bunch of treachery. He'll discard a nuke. He has had no time to fire nukes right now. Or do I want to do food? We haven't actually used any food. So, you know what? Yeah, we'll do -1 food. And draw 2 treachery. This might bite us in the ass later, but it is our option right now. Okay. Goes to... Okay, then we need to resolve this. It is base star fires. That is a miss. We do get a jump prep. And that's it. Alright. Chief does need to discard. He's going to discard his personal vices. He has to discard because he can only have up to 8 cards in his hand because of his reckless. Alright, goes to Callie. Callie's going to go ahead and draw some more politics. And then she's going to go ahead and keep activating that Centauran. She wants to keep that pressure going. Or... actually, no. She's not going to go for the Centauran. She's going to activate Raiders. Regular Raiders. So these three will move up. These two will move up. And then these two will fire at the Assault Raptor. They hit an Assault Raptor on a 7 and 8. So that's a miss. And that's a miss. But there's now 5 Raiders there. Okay. That is it for her. Goes to Chief. Chief is going to get his cards. Okay, XO is what we want. Okay. He's going to play Executive Orders on Chief. Chief is going to get 2 actions. He's going to go ahead and try to destroy that freaking Centauran. Miss. Barely a miss. I don't think anyone can play anything to fix that. No one has calculations. Nope. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. XO resolved. Crisis is drawn. Prison labor. Passes no effect. Fail is morale and food. Alright. So, first goes to Chief. We're going to just throw all these in here. Oh, actually. Chief's going to go ahead and play Scientific Research. So now all engineering counts as positive. And then we'll go. Alright. And then we'll throw all that in there. Callie will go ahead and put in Exploit Weakness. Actually, she'll put in a bait. Alright, and then Chief is going to go ahead and do what he can with what he's got. Yeah, he'll do this. Let's see if that's enough. It should be. Alright. Remember, scientific engineering cards are positive right now. So we'll add that up in a second. Okay. So we'll baits first. Civilian ships are added to the back. Alright. And established network is doubles engineering. We don't have a single negative, so it's going to be pretty one-sided here. So that's 10 right there, and that alone is enough to pass. We do get trust instincts, which we'll go ahead and draw them, which adds more positive. So yeah, this is easy to, this is a one-sided thing. Quick thinking allows us to get back a 3 cost. We'll get back a repair. Why not? And then install upgrades adds 2 engineering cards because we passed. And then everything else gets resolved. So it's a pass, so we don't lose anything. And then the raiders are going to swarm in. Hopefully I did that right. Anyway, raiders move in, these 2 move in. The other 5 will shoot at the Assault Raptor. I don't like the odds. That is a destroyed Raptor, so that Raptor is now destroyed. The remaining 4 are going to destroy 4 civvy ships. I'm just going to grab 4 civvy ships and start flipping them. Alright, so we got 2 empties and 2 population in total. Could have been a lot worse, but now these civvy ships are now gone. Alright, so that happened. Goes to dock. Chief does need to discard. He needs to discard a lot of cards, in fact. He's just going to discard a bunch of these. Yeah, the problem is these contacts, you can't actually discard them. Alright, so it goes to Doc's turn. Doc will get 1 politics, 2 tactics, 2 engineering. Sorry if I flick across the screen real quick. I'm kind of just used to seeing all these. Alright. At this point, Doc is going to go ahead and go to FTL control and force a jump, because we're just getting blasted in the back here. So he's going to force a jump. He'll go ahead and do strategic planning just to kind of hopefully influence the die roll. So as long as it's a 7 or higher, we're okay. We do get +2 to the result because of strategic planning. We didn't need the strategic planning. We don't lose any population. We do force a jump. All these raiders go to here now. These go to here. And that base star goes to there. Alright. We get 2 destination cards, or the Admiral does, and get to pick one. We'll do Cylon Refinery. So that's going to bring us to 3 distance. So we still got a ways to go. We do lose 1 fuel. And then we're going to go ahead and roll, risk 2 Vipers and roll a D8 and see what we get. Alright, on a 6 or higher, gain 2, otherwise you damage 2 Vipers. So we'll damage 2 regular Vipers. So no fuel back, but that's okay. Alright, and then we get a crisis. Admiral chooses. -1 fuel and destroy 1 Raptor, or -1 morale on the current player sent to sickbay. How are we on fuel? How are we on morale? We'll take the fuel. No. We gotta do morale. With how bad our distance is, it's not. We still need fuel. So yeah, we'll do -1 morale. And send Doc to sickbay. And then base star is going to activate. It's going to go to 5. We do get a civvy ship. And we do get a jump prep. Okay. Goes to Callie. Callie will draw 1 treachery and 1 politics. Alright. And got a few choices. Could really continue putting pressure on that Centauran, or I could put more pressure on the fleet. And at this point, I think she's going to go ahead and switch tactics. I mean, it could be pretty beneficial depending on what sort of crises we get. Just keep pushing the Centauran because it's pretty hard to get rid of once it's in the ship. But I think with this, we can force the humans to kind of split their focus, essentially, or split my focus because I'm the one playing both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and activate base star bridge. The CAG must. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll a die. All right, that is a 5. Increase pursuit track by 1, and then the other one is gonna be CAG must place a civvy ship down. So he's gonna put 1 there. Okay, That is it for her. Goes to Chief. Chief is gonna do what he can. Alright. So what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and stay where he's at and go ahead and use XO on Doc and get him to move. And he's going to go ahead and just move to command. Well, we don't really have any good options. We really don't. He's going to go to Armory and try to shoot it. Just wait. Cannot use actions printed on engineer cards. Let me check something. Let me see if I can do calculations. Okay, I did check. He can use cards that don't have, still use the effects of cards that are not actions. So calculations is not an action, and you play it after a die is rolled. You can add 1 or subtract 1. We'll add 1 to 6, making it 7, which is enough to destroy that Centurion. So Cylon made a good call on that. So that resolves calculations, and that's going to resolve executive order. And we get a crisis. Loss of a friend. Alright, passes no effect. And yeah, that's it. A lot of this is just morale and skill checks, or skill cards, which is not the end of the world. Really, all we want is that jump prep. Just kind of seeing what we have. Yeah, Doc doesn't really have much to play around with. Chief, he might be able to pull it off, to be honest. There is a cat in front of me. Kitty cat, get out of the way. Boop. Alright. Yeah, we'll go for it. So Doc will go ahead and put a he'll put a consolidate power in there. Callie is going to get Chief in jail. Chief is going to go ahead and get some of this shit out of his hand at least. Get all those treachery cards out. And then it's green and yellow. So he's just going to go clear out his hand a bit. Alright, and let's see what happens. -5. -3. +2. -3. +1. -2. +2. Yeah, that was the Destiny deck spiked it by 10. This is one of the situations where red tape would have actually been useful, but that's okay. So 1 civilian ship in the back, and then 2 raiders at the front. Each human player draws a treachery card, and if the current player is human, they have to draw a mutiny card. There's a cat in front of me. Kitty cat, get out of the way. You're adorable, but you're also a Cylon. Anyway, so Chief is going to go to jail. He's going to go ahead and discard this mutiny card, go to the brig. And this is a super fail, so it's going to be minus morale. So that's going to be down to 5. We're going to probably die from morale, which is probably, I think this is the first time we've lost because of that. I mean, we haven't lost too many times because we've only played a few times. The current player discards 2 skill cards. Okay. So, discard 2 skill cards. You got it. Alright, Everything else should be resolved. Admiral and CAG goes to Dock now. Have fun, Dock. Presidency does still stay. Okay. And then get rid of all these. Alright. We're going to add a heavy raider to 6, which is up here. We have to add 2 civvy ships, but we only have 1 ship left in the box, so it's just going to go up here. We do get a jump prep, for what it's worth. And got that going for us. Alright. Goes to Dock. Dock will draw politics, 2 tactics, 2 engineering, and then he's going to find out what the hell he's going to do with his life. Yeah, what he's going to go ahead and do is he's going to go ahead and move to command, activate a Viper, and send that civvy ship back where it came from. Actually, do I want to do that? Or do I need to... No, what we'll do is we'll deploy a Viper Mark 7. God, there's not any good choices. Alright, we're just going to put a civvy we're going to escort a civvy ship away. That's going to be the plan. And hope we hold our own for a little bit longer. Or it's either that or I try to risk some stuff and try to get some resources back, or try to get some information. None of it's good. All of it's bad. Now we'll just stick with what we got. Crisis. Give in to despair. Alright. Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Fail is minus morale. Partial fail is food instead. And we have 1 person in jail right now who can only put 1 card in. So yeah, this is I think we're going to die from morale. That is probably what's going to kill us. I wasn't expecting things to go this bad so quickly. In fact, most of the time, usually you lose in the second phase of the game. I don't think I've ever had a game end on the first phase before you even hit sleeper phase. But look at this, that face right there, that is murder. She is out to murder people. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and shuffle this. Add 2. First is Callie. Callie doesn't really have any cards to play around with. She's just going to put this in here. Chief doesn't have much to put in here either. Unless... yeah, he'll go for it. Alright, so he's going to play scientific research ahead of time. So that'll make all engineering cards count as positive. Doc is going to play jury-rigged. And he's going to end up activating this twice, so adds 4 raiders to the front due to reckless. But it does reduce the skill difficulty by 4, so that brings it down to a 10. So that's all been handled. Engineering is now counts as positive. Alright, Chief can only put 1 card in. He's going to put Build Nuke in here, because of course he is. And then Doc is going to go all in on his own. It's yellow and green. Alright, let's see if we can do it. Alright, let's see what we've got. Quick thinking. Alright, so now all of this, we're just going to pull it all out right now. Okay, so quick thinking we'll put to the side for now. established network is going to double the strength of engineering, so this is going to bring this to a 12, 8, 9, 15, 10. So that is actually a pass thanks to the reckless jury rig that we did. And then the quick thinking, I can get something back if I wanted to, but there's actually nothing I want to take back. I need all of these cards in here. Even if I took out the support the people, that would actually make it into a partial fail. So this is a pass, barely. Current player must choose a human player to draw a mutiny card. He's going to go ahead and pick the person that's in jail right now. That is nice, but we'll pass it. Okay, and then let's go ahead and put these all away. It's kind of interesting to do all the engineering cards, because there's that one card. It's the whole scientific research card is actually really good if you have a lot of engineering, because then you can just make it always positive, and that can make a difference. Alright, so Heavy Raider's going to activate. We're going to go ahead and add one to the board here, and then everything's going to jump in. So we got a whole shit ton of Raiders waiting for us. Heavy Raider down there. That there. And that there. We do get a jump prep. And this is where things get bad. Because it's the Cylon's turn. And the Cylon is Callie. And she only exists to murder people. She's going to pick Treachery for her 2 cards. Good stuff. Alright. And she's going to go ahead and switch over to Cylon Fleet and activate all of one type. She's going to pick Raiders. Regular Raiders. You know, nothing special. Alright, so that's going to destroy... 4 of them are going to destroy those 3. Or those 4 right there. These 3 down here are going to move clockwise down this way. It's equal distance for these Raiders here, so they're going to move over this way. Alright, and then these ships are gone. Alright, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 population gone. So we're down to 3 population. There are currently 1 civvy ship in the box and 2 out in the field. Needless to say, we're about to experience what's going to happen whenever you run out of civvy ships on the space field. Goes to Chief. Chief does get his full hand. He is in jail at the moment. I'm just kind of considering my options here. We might have to force a jump. I don't think we have any other option. And the problem is if we fail, if that screws us, that's gonna be game. It's either that or we go with the whole hope we can tank enough. I mean, I'm curious at this point. We've already gotten rid of the I think there's a ship that has fuel and people. I think there's one that has morale and people. And then I think there's probably one more that has a person in it. So if we lose all the civvy ships, I think that's game over. Which, I mean, we do have a civvy ship that's still in the box. So maybe, just maybe, we can make this work. It's either that or I try to do a forced jump and hope for the 25% chance that I don't lose 3 population. And that's not really a good option. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, while in jail, I'm going to go ahead and do executive order on Doc. And then I'm going to go ahead and have Doc activate command and move this and escort this civvy ship off for his first action. His second action is he's going to fire a goddamn nuke and fire it to here. So no one has anything that can manipulate die rolls. It's just going to be a straight 1d8. 2. So damage base star twice. Alright, well, it can't. This one cannot fire any rockets or anything anymore. Still needs to take one more damage to actually do anything, though. Alright, that was not impressive at all. But that is how it is. Anyway, Chief is in jail. Exo resolves. Chief is in jail, so it's not going to draw a crisis. Goes to Doc. That is not what I wanted to draw. Politics. Tactics. Engineering. Okay. Man, I've been hoping for that tactics card that lets me swap movement for actions, and I have yet to draw it. Alright, so at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and fire another nuke. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire a nuke up here and just hope it's enough. Oh, so close! That 8 was there! Alright, it's going to destroy the base star. God, that was disappointing. Lackluster nukes. Oh, actually, I could have had strategic planning. I should have done strategic planning. Duh, I would have done that. That would have made it a 7, which would have destroyed 3 raiders. So yeah, I'll do that. I should have done that before I rolled, but I kept thinking I had nothing but useless cards, which is only half true. All right. So we did all that. Oh, also, do I need to discard? Surprisingly, no. Okay. Morale's 5. God, we're just getting obliterated here. Alright, so now we do a crisis. Elections loom. No effects. Minus morale. All that good stuff. Alright. Chief's gonna go ahead and play scientific research just because he can. Alright. Actually, one thing he could have done is choose one resource type. That's something we can play around with later. Anyway. Alright, so engineering counts as positive, blah blah blah. Callie's gonna go ahead and do his usual thing. She'll play that. Chief is going to go ahead, he can only play one card, he's just going to put one in. And then Doc is going to put in what he can, which is not much, but it's something. +5. Install upgrades. +2. +5. +3. +7. And that is +3. So that's a fail. We're going to get one engineering card out of it because of the install upgrades. It's a full fail, so the -1 morale kicks in. And then the president must discard 4 cards, which... rightio. Sure, why not? We'll discard all those and consolidate power. Alright. We do get a jump prep. And then heavy raiders are going to activate. And that's going to be bad, because we're going to get another Centurion. This is just brutal. It's just like a 180 compared to the last game. Alright, Heavy Raider's gonna board. This one's gonna go down one. We do get a jump prep. Did we get a jump prep last round? Give me a second. Okay, I confirmed that we did already move it. And that is it for the turn. We're 3 distance. This is impressive. This is a rough run for the humans. Callie is just murderous. She could have done a lot worse too. She could have just been blasting people with if she was allowed to go one more turn, she would have capped someone too. Just bad for everybody. She also had the best kind of special ability compared to everybody else too, with this her quick fix. Anyway, so yeah, goes to Callie. She's gonna go Treachery. Get a few more of those going. Oh, I think I forgot to resolve some of those cards. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, there were 2 Treachery cards. One of them was the one that the Silent put in, which was the one that puts current player into sickbay. And then there's the one that was, everyone draws a Treachery, all human players draw a Treachery card. And if the current player is human, they draw a Mutiny card. So Doc is going to get a Mutiny card. Okay. So those are the Treachery cards I missed. I apologize. Anyway, back to Callie. Callie's drawn her cards already. Definitely got some options here. She's just going to keep activating Raiders. She's just going to obliterate everything. So these are going to move here. These 3 are going to try to shoot down the Mark 7. Miss. 6 might be enough. Yep, 6 is damaged. So this is going to go to damaged, and then this one's going to move up. Okay, that's it for her. Goes to Chief. Okay, and he's going to go ahead and just do XO on Doc, and Doc is going to he is going to go ahead and what do I want to do for this? I can get a Mark 7 up there, but that's about it. I can also try to just move the Civvy ship, which is an option. It's not a good one, but it's an option. Alright, we're just going to risk it. We're going to FTL control. We're going to force a jump. We do lose 1 population. But for at least for a moment, we get a little bit of peace. Not much, but a little bit. We do have a Centurion still playing with us. Doc is going to get 2 destination cards. I'm just going to put them here. Lose 1 fuel, then place 2 civilian ships behind the Galactica and 1 base star in front of the Galactica. Damage the base star once. That might be our best one. Yeah, we'll do it. So we're going to be at 5 distance now. We do lose 1 fuel. 1 base star in front of the Galactica. We do damage it once. Okay, it has 2 damage now. Do it over. And then place 2 civilian ships behind the Galactica. There's only 2 to put in here. And we do the loyalty phase. There's not really much to say about it. That, and then since Callie is a silent, she would have given this face down to another player. Doesn't really matter who. Alright. Well, they made it to the sleeper phase, so that in itself is a victory in my heart. Alright. That would resolve Chief's turn. That would resolve the XO. I'll go to Doc's turn next. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a video. I'm the Depressed Dealer. This was Battlestar Galactica with support characters only. See you guys next time.